high they're strikers. There's something uniquely disturbing about people vanishing into thin air. Read about these incredibly strange, unsolved cases. Although these disappearances span centuries, locations, age ranges, and circumstances, there's one common thread shared between them: a lack of closure. There are theories, speculations, and investigations, but never a decisive answer. On our incoming episode, I'm going to feature some of the cases of mysterious disappearances, of some missing that just disappear without any trace. The lack of evidence in some of these missing persons cases not only hinders the investigation, but leaves a lot of room for conjecture, speculation, and conspiracy. The ominous disappearance of an Australian pilot in 1978, for example, has led many to blame aliens. Our feature story for today is disappearance of Christopher Kurz. He is a young man who went missing from Minnesota. Kurz is one of the remaining missing persons featured in the music video for Soul Asylum's song Runaway Train. Chris stayed homesick from school and left home taking the family van, a blue Dodge Caravan, and his father's 1954 to 1956 model Mossberg 20-gauge bolt-action shotgun with a 3-shell clip on April 20, 1990, in Eagan, Minnesota. A note stating he would be back around 1800 hours was found. A subsequent handwritten and apologetic note received on the following day and postmarked Duluth, Minnesota, announced that Christopher lied about being sick so he could run away from home and take his own life. Although Christopher apparently didn't take any ammunition with him, he did withdraw $200 from his savings account the day he disappeared. On April 20, 1990, Kurz reportedly stayed home from school, indicating that he was sick. The family vehicle, a blue 1988 Dodge Caravan, was missing when his parents returned home later that day. They found a note from Kurz stating that he would be back by 6 p.m. unless he got lost, which was unusual, as the word lost was underlined twice on the note. The family then received a letter from Duluth, Minnesota on April 21, 1990 that indicated that Kurz may have lied to gain usage of the van, and the writer indicated they did not know where Kurz was going. Kurz had an O.F. Mossberg & Sons 20-gauge shotgun with him, although he had not taken any ammunition. Authorities have speculated that he may have discarded their gun, but they are not certain of that. The van was located abandoned 2 days later on April 22, 1990, near Grand Rapids, Minnesota. After his disappearance, posters were distributed and extensive searches were made in an attempt to find Kurz. In 2004, an anonymous letter was received by the Eagan Police Department suggesting they should stop trying to find Kurz and he would return home when he is ready. The police were unable to authenticate the communication. The van was located 2 days later abandoned near Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Inside the van were the keys and a note from Christopher explaining who owned the van. Police suspect he killed himself. They also believe the gun may have been abandoned somewhere in rural Minnesota and was possibly found later by a hunter. There was renewed interest in the case in late 2016 after Jacob Wetterling's case was resolved. New age-progressed photos of Kurz were created and missing persons posters were distributed with those photos. The family also gave media interviews regarding the case. Christopher Matthew Kurz was an Eagan, Minnesota 17-year-old teenager when he went missing on April 20, 1990 from his home and was never seen again. Kurz claimed he had a headache on that fateful spring morning and wanted to stay home from school, so his parents obliged. His dad was away on a business trip that day and his mother went out for the day and left Christopher home alone. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary with young Christopher, so his parents had no reason to think that Kurz would disappear on his own accord that day. Later that day his mother returned home and immediately realized that their pale blue 1988 Dodge Caravan, similar to this one, was missing. Also noticeably absent was Christopher, but he had scribbled a note for her and left it on the kitchen counter explaining his absence. According to CharlieProject.org, the note stated the following: "Mom, something important came up plus feeling somewhat better. Back by 6. Unless I get lost, love, Chris." For some reason, Christopher had underlined lost twice, but his mother surmises that the still unknown reason is probably that her son tended to sometimes get off course while driving because he didn't follow driving directions well. Unfortunately, Christopher didn't return home later that night as he promised in his note. There is evidence that he may have still at least been alive up to 24 hours after his disappearance, since the next day another note apparently handwritten by Christopher arrived at his home. It was from Duluth, Minnesota, which is about 2.5 hours from Eagan, Minnesota by car. The note stated that he lied about his headache because he wanted the car so he could drive someplace that he still hadn't thought of at the time of writing the note. He also included in the note that he wanted to get his own life. On April 22, 1990, the light blue Dodge Caravan that Christopher drove off in was discovered, with the keys still in the van and yet another note from Chris, but this time not addressed to his parents. This note just stated the owners of the van in case a random stranger happened upon it. The van was discovered in northern Minnesota, about 20 miles from Grand Rapids, Minnesota, where his grandparents lived at the time. This was the last related clue to Christopher's disappearance that has ever been found. Christopher Matthew Kurz's body has never been found if he did in fact commit suicide. Did he kill himself? Was he murdered? Did he run off to meet a friend about whom his family knew nothing? Did he join some cult, and if so, is he still a part of it? Did he die while a member of this unnamed, unknown group? Did he leave it, and has for decades been too ashamed to admit his error? Is he indeed dead, but his demise has nothing to do with his departure from an apparently loving, caring and tight-knit home? His parents have no idea. Since his disappearance, they have not moved home, not even changed their telephone number or altered the locks on their doors. Because they are convinced that one day the possibility exists that there will a hesitant knock on the door and there will stand Christopher, older but still their son. Or a phone call will be received, again, that says, "Mom, I'm ready to come home." Each time they go shopping, or visit a friend, they hold the faintest glimmer of a hope that they will return to find a strange car in the drive, and a man they hardly know but know so well sitting on the sofa, awaiting their return. Imagine 30 years of that hope, something to be dashed every day. Imagine the pain that causes, the hardship they endure. Because nobody knows, the most chilling unsolved disappearances involve a broad range of shadowy entities, from the Italian mafia to secretive, and they have implicated some of the world's most powerful people. Watch out for our more featured disappearance content this coming month. Thanks for watching. Just comment down below if you want me to feature some stories you wanted to.